Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Zach, and I am not an expert, so please take everything I say with a grain of salt. So, today I'm giving you an update on the latest polls in Texas regarding the Trump Biden election of 2020. And there's a few things that definitely should be considered when considering these polls. Last year in 2016, there was a lot of polls that were off by a significant margin. We couldn't have predicted Trump presidency 4 years ago from the polls. But since then, there have been a lot of issues concerning voters on who is going to be elected this year and can these polls be even trusted again. So I'm going to dig into that. So first of all, the Trump polls in Texas have been about equal. However, recently the polls have been giving Biden a slight edge. There's been a 3-point Biden lead for a couple days. There has been a new poll saying that Trump has a 3-point lead, but this has been given a D- rating, so it is going to be considered more biased. Same with this poll with only a 1-point lead by Biden. The University of Texas at Tyler should probably be considered to have more weight. So going into the subject of is this poll even credible? Well, back in 2016, one of the biggest issues was there was a lot of undecided voters that were able to switch to voting for Trump in the last couple hours of the debate. That isn't something that a pollster can really define or account for, especially back in 2016. A lot of people were afraid to say they were voting for Trump. However, that isn't really the biggest issue. The biggest issue is probably that there wasn't a lot of weight for education back then. Back then, there was there's been a lot of people that were supposed to vote for Hillary, but based on the sample size, but there was about a 2 or 3 point weight that was not considered going into that election. So basically, these pollsters just didn't factor in education as much as they should have. And what that caused was a lot of people to think more people were voting for Hillary than actually did. Also, a majority of the polls just didn't think education was as important back then. So in conclusion, considering that these polls have had 4 years to figure out what they did wrong in the past election and fix that, I believe that these polls are more accurate, and there isn't a lot of undecided voters. We know what Trump's presidency has been like. Whether that's good or bad, I'll leave that up to you. And so that means there's not as many undecided voters that can switch one way or the other. And with 4 years of time to think over their mistakes from 2016 as well as the 2018 election to fix their mistakes, I believe that these polls are going to be more accurate. So what that means is Trump is not likely to have an easy win in Texas. And if that isn't won by Trump, it isn't very likely for Trump to win the presidency at all. So no matter who you are, Trump, Biden supporter, make sure to get out and vote. You have 9 days left. Best of luck to you.